The Canaday Group presents RE/MAX Fine Homes, Luxury Living in Orange County, with your host, Lee Ann Canaday.
Good morning, Southern California, and welcome to the Canaday Group and RE/MAX Fine Homes. And I'm actually in Catalina this weekend. Aren't we lucky where we live? Anyway, we are going to start, as usual, with our three-dimensional, really fun to use Matterport tours and our open houses for the weekend, where I guess I'm not holding one since I'm here. Let's take a look. How about putting the sign right over there, Christine?
Hi, I'm Lee Ann Canaday with the Canaday Group RE/MAX Fine Homes. Welcome to our open house.
Hope you saw a place you're going to visit, especially our open houses. But if you saw something on the Matterport that you really want to see and it's not open, no problem. Just give us a call and we'll give you a private tour. We love giving private tours. So now let's move on to our coming soons, our brand new listings, and just some fabulous properties. I'm at this beautiful, authentic Tudor home in the Hunt Club. It's a brand new listing, and as you can see behind me, the woodwork in this home is spectacular. If you add up all the big bonus rooms and the workout room and everything else that's here, it adds up to about 7,100 square feet of true family living. All the rooms are seriously gigantic. It's got 5 bedrooms, including a maid's room downstairs, plus an incredible workout room. Giant kitchen, large family room, big bonus room above the garage, and actually has ocean views, especially if we cut those trees down behind us. But from the upstairs, we have great ocean views. Don't forget, it's got a magnificent office with a fireplace. In fact, there are 4 fireplaces throughout this estate home. And of course, it has the obligatory swimming pool and an RV garage along with 2 other oversized garages. So it's a really good family home. If you want, you can be the first in the door because we really haven't put it on the market yet. So we'd love to give you a private showing, and you too can appreciate the workmanship in this home. So come and look at this house. It's open this weekend, and we hope to see you here. welcome to another episode of Lattes with Lee Ann, and today I'm thrilled to introduce Alton Moore. Now, Alton was the speaker at that Prop 19 seminar I've been touting for the last few months. And now you're going to get a little sneak preview of what we talked about at the Prop 19 seminar. So maybe you can hit the highlights of it, because you know it's been concerning me because of the negative impact of it. So that's, I think, maybe if we bullet point all the impact, but then we can focus on the problems with it, and those are what we want to address, right?
Of course. Well, first off, thank you for having me here and having me at the presentation. It was very fun to speak to all of your different clients and different people who are interested in it, because Prop 19, as Lee Ann mentioned, has been a pretty prevalent issue since it got passed late in November of 2020 and gone into effect in 2021. But just to talk about some of the high-level points here. So you guys may have heard of Prop 19. Essentially what it did, it changed a lot of the property tax reassessment laws when you have a transfer of a principal residence from parent to child or grandparent to grandchild. And then it also changed the reassessment rules for seniors and victims of natural disasters, right? So when we're talking about the parent to child, which is what most people have actually been focusing on because of the negative aspects, before Prop 19, Lee Ann, you used to be able to give your kid your principal residence, right, without a property tax reassessment. Right. Now, nowadays, and after the passage of Prop 19, that's become much more limited. So first off, to even have a limited reassessment exemption, your kid actually has to move into your principal residence as their principal residence, which most kids don't tend to do because there's a lot of emotional baggage that comes along with that. And then secondarily, there's now a limited exemption so that you have to look at your current property tax basis plus $1 million. You compare that to the current fair market value at the date of transfer, and if the fair market value is in excess of your property tax basis plus $1 million, that net amount gets added on your property tax basis. So if you live, you know, in Orange County, San Francisco, San Diego, LA, in areas of high appreciation, you know,
like where we are today,
like where we are with this beautiful
at the ocean and the harbor and all that,
Exactly. So you're likely to face a property tax reassessment, even if you move into that house as your principal residence. And if you don't, then when you get it, it's fully reassessed to the new fair market value. So it's very negative for a lot of taxpayers.
The issue with that is obviously the kids won't be able to afford, or likely won't be able to afford, the new taxes, which would force them to sell.
Correct. Yeah. And so that's, I don't want to say that's the goal, right? In Prop 19, they put some legislation in there saying they're trying to combat, you know, abusive East Coasters taking advantage of California's abundant property and investment returns. But the reality is that kids are going to be forced to sell now, because if you have a new property tax base of $3 million, right, on a home, that's extremely expensive. And if your kids aren't equipped to have that sort of revenue to pay it, they're just not going to be able to afford it, unfortunately.
Exactly. Like here it'd be 5.
Yes.
And that, I mean, and that's just a big tax bite.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's really negative, and essentially it's going to force your kids to sell. Now, so that's the bad side of Prop 19. And what you saw in the ballot is that they wanted to earmark those funds for schools, different sort of programs, victims of natural disasters, but actually the money or the tax revenue is going to the general fund. So it's not actually earmarked for anything specifically. So that means it just goes into the general California slush fund and can be used for whatever purposes the California government sees fit as well.
That's wonderful.
I like your attitude on it, at least.
Oh my gosh. I mean, at least if it was earmarked, that would help a bit, right?
Yes, exactly.
But so taking that out, even though they said it was in there, that is just deceptive.
It is. And you know, we are in California, so it's something to be expected, unfortunately. But so that's the bad side of Prop 19. Now, it wasn't all bad in all places. So part of this legislation came out or was enacted after some of the major wildfires that we had in Northern California and that we've been expecting or incurring in 2020. So what they did and what they really wrote this bill on was providing exemptions for seniors and victims of natural disasters. So what they did, if you are 55 years or older, or you've been a victim of natural disaster, wildfire, earthquake, mudslides, things like that, they now allow you to transfer your property tax basis from your principal residence to a new residence on 3 times. So before, you only used to be able to do it once, and it had to be in the same or a qualifying county, if you remember that correctly.
I do remember that. It was Prop 60.
Yep.
But the odd thing is that I think in Prop 60, if you were disabled,
yes,
then you still were able to do it again.
Correct. So it was a little different. So there used to be 2 different props, right? There's Prop
60, 90, and then even 115. I don't remember.
Exactly. So they all used to have their own certain sets of rules, and then you're right, disabled, I forgot to bring that up. So they had a different set of rules for seniors, different set of rules for disabled persons, and different set of rules for victims of natural disasters. Underneath the new rules, they just combined them all. So each one of those categories can now use this 3 times. However, so it has to be from principal residence to principal residence. You can use it 3 times. You can go from any county. It doesn't have to be within certain qualifying counties. Now here's the catch. If the new house you buy, there's always a catch.
I know the $1 million catch.
Yeah. So if the new house you buy has a fair market value in excess of the previous house, that differential gets added on your property tax basis. So if you go from a house worth $1 million to a house worth 1.2, that $200,000 gets added to your property tax basis. So you still have to be careful, but it does allow a lot of people to move in and out or up and down California without being restricted in how they could transfer their property tax basis as well.
Well, most of the counties, like if you're just thinking of Orange County, the counties that people from Orange County moved to were already participating in the program, so they weren't affected negatively.
Correct.
So I didn't feel like that Prop 19 really did anything. Sorry, but I mean, no.
So and I would agree, because the only thing it really did is it allowed those people, it refreshed their ability to use it 3 different times if they wanted to.
True.
So, and one thing, and I forgot to mention this, it could be also for newly constructed property. So long as the property is newly constructed within 2 years of the sale of your old principal residence, that also qualifies. But you got to make sure you file for the exemption within 2 years, because if you don't, then you lose it, unfortunately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate this very brief but very detailed description of Prop 19. I think you did a fabulous job in such a short period of time. And we'll leave your name and number and everything so our viewers can contact you directly, or you just call us and we'll send you Alton's information. Thank you so much for coming on and for doing our seminar. And I think we'll do another Prop 19 seminar maybe around November or so. Does that sound good?
That would be perfect.
Oh, good. You heard him.
And thank you again for having me on, Lee Ann. I appreciate it.
It's been wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. So we have another seminar for your benefit, and please all come. Now, you just heard about some of the negative effects of Prop 19 from Alton. And if you missed that segment, go to our YouTube station and look under Lattes with Lee Ann, and there's a section on Prop 19 with Alton Moore. So that's the way you can re-listen to it or listen to it for the first time if you missed it. But Alton did point out not only the benefits, but some of the harsh realities of the Prop 19, whereby kids who are inheriting a property will probably get priced right out of that property. And that is a new aspect to Prop 19. So the seminar I'm going to have is a committee that was formed to amend Prop 19 into something that is not going to kick the people who inherit properties out of the property just because they can't afford the property taxes. Before, it never got a stepped up basis for the property taxes, but now with Prop 19 it does. That's the bottom line. However, there's a lot of things we can do about it, and I have a kind of a political pact that is coming and speaking to us on all the things we can do to fight Prop 19. And that is on Saturday, September 9th at 10 a.m. in the morning at the Oasis Center. And I'm sure Steve's going to show you all the information down below. But I would say this is a must attend if you're going to be passing property on to people who will inherit it and will have to start paying really high property taxes on it. So please come to this seminar. We'll tell you what you can do to help amend a partially bad proposition, and so that it's all good. So I'm going to show you a couple new listings. This first one is in Laguna, Niguel, and it's an end unit on a condominium project. An end unit with beautiful views, wide open views. And it's 2 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it has a swimming pool and a tennis court that is common just to the small community. It's been redone inside, absolutely gorgeous, and the outside of the whole entire project is currently being painted, so it's going to look pristine in a few weeks. We're going to be holding it open every weekend, so come see this beautiful condominium, and very, very close to the beach. So there's actually a trail that walks straight down to the beach from this condominium. Well, now for our newest and latest segment, RE/MAX Worldwide. So I had a suggestion, thank you for the suggestion, from one of our viewers saying that I'd like to see stuff throughout the world, like that one time you listed the property in Normandy, France, and you showed the pictures. I loved that. So why don't you do that again? Well, since RE/MAX is in 110 countries, I have so much to choose from. And for our very first segment, we are going to show you, I actually selected the Cayman Islands. And I have 3 properties to show you in the Cayman Islands. One of them is $13.25 million. The next one is $6.5 million. And the next one is a low price of $2,395,000. So take a look at all of these properties in that order and enjoy.
The Canaday Group is a dedicated team of agents and assistants. Under Lee Ann's leadership, this group has provided knowledgeable, professional service for decades. Let's take a look at a few recent successes for the Canaday Group and their clients. You can keep up with Lee Ann, RE/MAX Fine Homes, and the Canaday Group 24 hours a day for real estate and community news, tips for home buyers and sellers, and of course, the latest listings from Lee Ann and her team. Go to our website at CanadayGroup.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, Lee Ann's friendly, professional team is always available to answer your questions. Call anytime at 949-249-2424.
Hope you enjoyed the show today. As you know, we love bringing it to you. And by the way, thank you for the comments. So I've had a couple comments and suggestions of what people would like to see. And that's the reason we added that new segment on RE/MAX International, or what we're calling RE/MAX Worldwide. And any other comments or suggestions you have, bring them to us, because we take your suggestions very seriously. Again, thank you for watching and have a great weekend. Bye.